Have you ever looked at someone else's life and suddenly felt like your own life was falling behind? Maybe you opened Instagram and saw someone your age buying a new car. Someone else got the job you wanted. Someone is already running a successful business. Someone is traveling, getting married, building a body you wish you had, or achieving the dreams you have been waiting years to achieve. And for a moment, you feel happy for them. But then you look at yourself, and something inside you becomes quiet. You start asking, why am I still here? Why is everyone moving ahead while I am still struggling? Am I wasting my time? Maybe I am not good enough. And the worst part is, nobody has to tell you that you are behind. You tell yourself every single day. You compare your beginning with someone else's middle. You compare your worst days with someone else's best moments. You compare your private struggles with the version of their life they choose to show the world. And slowly, without even noticing, you stop living your own life. You start running a race that you never agreed to enter. You wake up thinking about how far others have gone. You work while thinking about who is ahead of you. You rest while feeling guilty. And even when something good happens to you, you cannot fully enjoy it because someone else seems to be doing better. But what if the problem is not that you are moving too slowly? What if you are simply moving at your own pace? What if your life is not late? What if it is still becoming? Maybe the chapter you are living right now is not supposed to look like someone else's chapter. And maybe, just maybe, the moment you stop looking sideways is the moment you finally start moving forward. Hello everyone, my name is Alphaz, and welcome to Words and Wisdom, the place where stories are not just heard, they settle into your heart. Today, I want to take you somewhere far away from the noise of modern life, somewhere quiet, somewhere simple, and somewhere a young man learned a lesson that changed the way he looked at his entire life. Many years ago, beyond the crowded cities and busy roads, there was a small village surrounded by green hills. An elderly master lived there. People from nearby villages often visited him when life became confusing. But the master never called himself wise. He simply listened. And perhaps that was the reason people trusted him. Not far from that house lived a young man named Arin. Arin was hard-working. He woke up early, he helped his family, he worked in the fields, he learned new skills whenever he could. From the outside, he looked like someone who was doing everything right. But inside, he was tired, very tired. Arin had a habit that nobody could see. He constantly compared himself with others. One of his friends had already built a successful farm. Another had learned a valuable trade. Someone younger than him had become respected throughout the village. Every time Arin heard someone's success, he felt smaller. When a neighbor bought a new cart, Arin looked at his old one and felt ashamed. When another farmer produced more crops, Arin wondered what was wrong with him. When someone praised another young man, Arin went home and worked twice as hard. But strangely, working harder did not make him happier. It only made him more exhausted. At night, he would lie on his simple bed and stare at the ceiling. He would think about all the things he had not achieved. He rarely thought about how much he had already done. One morning, after hearing that a young farmer had earned more money than him, Arin finally lost his patience. He left his work early and walked toward the old master's house. The path was quiet. The morning air was cool. Leaves moved gently above him, but his mind was loud. When he reached the garden, the master was sitting beneath an old tree. He was holding a small clay cup. He looked at Arin and smiled. "You look tired," the master said. "I am tired," Arin replied. The master said nothing. Arin sat down. For a few moments, neither of them spoke. Then Arin finally said, "I work hard, I wake up early,
I keep trying, but everyone seems to be moving faster than me." The master looked at him. "Who are you racing?" Arin looked confused. "I don't know." The master smiled softly. Then he stood up. He did not give Arin a speech. He did not tell him to be confident. He did not tell him to stop comparing himself. Instead, he simply walked toward the garden. Arin followed. The master stopped beside two trees. One was tall. Its branches reached high into the morning sky. The other was much smaller. Its trunk was thin. Its branches were still developing. The master pointed at the two trees. "Which one is better?" he asked. Arin looked at them. "The tall one," he said. The master nodded. Then he walked closer to the smaller tree. He touched its leaves gently. "Why?" "Because it has grown more." The master smiled. Then he looked at the tall tree. "Did this tree steal the sunlight from the smaller one?" "No." "Did the smaller tree stop growing because the taller tree existed?" Arin paused. "No." The master looked at him again. Then he did something very simple. He picked up a small seed from the ground. He placed it in his palm. "This seed," he said, "does not become a tree by looking at the tree beside it." He closed his hand around it. "It grows by becoming what it was meant to become." Then he placed the seed back into the soil, and he walked away. That was all. No long speech, no complicated lesson, just a seed, two trees, and a quiet morning. Arin remained standing there. He looked at the tall tree, then at the small one. For the first time, he noticed something he had never noticed before. The smaller tree was not failing, it was simply growing. It did not look at the tall tree and feel ashamed. It did not stop because another tree was taller. It did not ask why it was not already big. It simply kept reaching toward the light. Arin stood silently, and something inside him changed. He suddenly understood that he had been doing the same thing for years. He had been looking at everyone else's height and judging his own roots. He had been measuring his life by someone else's timeline. He had forgotten that growth has seasons. Some people bloom early, some bloom later. Some grow quickly, some grow slowly. But slow does not mean dead. Late does not mean lost. And different does not mean wrong. Arin returned home that morning with the same clothes, the same house, the same old cart, and the same amount of money. Nothing outside him had changed, but something inside him had. The next morning, he woke up early. For the first time in a long time, he did not think about the farmer next door. He simply looked at his own field. He asked himself one question: what can I improve today? That question became his new beginning. But changing the way you think is never easy. For years, comparison had become a habit, and habits do not disappear because you understand one lesson. A few days later, Arin heard that another young man had earned more money. Immediately, that old feeling returned. His chest became heavy. His mind started racing. He is ahead again. I am still behind. But this time, Arin stopped. He took a breath, then he looked at his own work. Instead of asking, "Why am I not like him?" he asked, "What is one thing I can do better today?" So he worked, not to beat someone, not to prove something, not to become better than another person. He worked because he wanted to become better than the person he had been yesterday. Some days were good, some were not. There were mornings when he felt motivated. There were mornings when he wanted to give up. There were days when someone else's success still hurt him. But slowly, he learned something important. You do not have to defeat comparison every single day. Sometimes you only need to notice it and choose not to follow it. So, when the old voice said, "Look how far they have gone," Arin answered, "Then let them go." When it said, "You are late," he answered, "My journey has its own time." When it said, "You are not enough," he answered, "I am still growing." Months passed. Arin became more focused. His work improved. His crops became healthier. He learned new skills. He started saving money. He became stronger. But the biggest change was not in his field, it was in his mind. He no longer needed another person to fail so he could feel successful. Someone else's success no longer felt like an attack on his own life. If a friend achieved something, Arin could genuinely celebrate, because he had finally understood that another person's progress does not take anything away from yours. The village noticed the change. People who once saw Arin as an anxious young man now saw someone calm. He still worked hard, but he no longer looked exhausted by his own life. He had stopped running someone else's race, and because of that, he finally had the energy to run his own.
Years later, Arin had built a successful farm. He had helped his family. He had learned several skills. Young people from the village even came to him for advice. But there was one person he had never forgotten: the old master. One evening, Arin walked back to the wooden house at the edge of the village. The garden looked almost the same. The old tree was still there, but the small tree beside it had grown much taller. Arin smiled when he saw it. The master was sitting beneath the tree. Arin sat beside him. For a moment, they watched the sunset together. Then Arin said quietly, "Thank you." The master looked at him. "For what?" "For teaching me that I was never behind." The master smiled. "I did not teach you that." Arin looked confused. The master pointed toward the tree. "You saw it yourself." Arin smiled, and for a few moments they simply sat there. No more words were needed. The lesson had already become a part of his life. Now come back with me to your life. Not the quiet village, not the green fields, not the peaceful river. Your life, the life you are living right now. You probably have a phone in your hand. Maybe you have social media. Maybe you see people every day who seem more successful than you. Someone is richer. Someone is fitter. Someone is more confident. Someone has more followers. Someone is already living the life you are still dreaming about. And if you're not careful, you will start believing that their progress is proof of your failure. It is not. You are seeing their visible results. You are not seeing their private struggles. You are not seeing the years they spent learning. You are not seeing their failures. You are not seeing the opportunities they had. You are not seeing the support they received. And most importantly, you are not seeing the path they were meant to walk. You only see the destination. Then you look at your own unfinished journey and feel ashamed. But your life was never supposed to be a copy of someone else's. Maybe you were 20 and still confused. Maybe you were 30 and starting again. Maybe you were 40 and finally discovering what you really want. Maybe you failed. Maybe you lost years. Maybe you made choices you regret. That does not mean your story is over. A tree does not apologize for taking longer to grow. A river does not feel embarrassed because another river reached the ocean first. A sunrise does not become less beautiful because it came after a long night. So why do you treat yourself differently? You are allowed to grow slowly. You are allowed to change direction. You are allowed to start again. You are allowed to take your time. But remember, trusting your own pace does not mean doing nothing. It does not mean waiting for success to magically appear. It means working without constantly checking whether someone else is ahead. It means focusing on your next step instead of someone else's entire journey. It means asking yourself better questions. Not, why am I behind? But what can I do today? Not, why is their life better? But what can I build with what I have? Not, when will I finally become successful? But what small step can I take right now? Because a small step repeated for years can completely change a life.
Maybe your progress is invisible right now. Maybe nobody notices your effort. Maybe you are working on something that will take years before anyone sees the result. Keep going. Roots grow in darkness before a tree gives shade. And sometimes the most important part of your growth is happening where nobody can see it. So stop measuring your worth by someone else's timeline. Stop using another person's chapter to judge your own. Look at your own field. Water your own seed. Do your work. Learn. Rest when you need to. Start again when you fail. And keep moving. Not because you need to become better than everyone else, but because you owe yourself the chance to become the person you are capable of becoming. One day, you may look back and realize something beautiful. You were not late. You were learning. You were not falling behind. You were building. You were not lost. You were finding your way. And maybe the life you were worried about today is slowly becoming the life you will be grateful for tomorrow. So if you have been comparing yourself to others lately, I want you to remember one simple thought. Their clock is not your clock. Their road is not your road. Their season is not your season. Keep walking. Your pace is allowed to be your own. And before you leave, I want you to answer one question in the comments. What is one area of your life where you have been comparing yourself to other people? And what is one small step you can take today for yourself instead? Write it honestly. Maybe someone reading your comment is going through the exact same struggle, and your words might remind them that they are not alone. If this story gave you even a little peace, subscribe to Words and Wisdom. Because here, we are not here to tell you that life is always easy. We're here to remind you that even when life feels confusing, there is still a way forward. And when this video ends, go watch the previous video on the screen. It may be exactly the reminder you need for the next chapter of your journey. Until then, take a breath, look at your own path, and keep going. You are not behind. You are becoming.